Okay, let's jump into comic book club. We've been talking about comics, so let's go
I'm
into
talking about
comic book
comics.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Time to talk about
yeah,
Marvel versus
yeah.
DC from 1996.
It's actually DC versus the
Marvel
Marvel
Universe.
Universe.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So,
Dumbass.
overall, brief thoughts on the quality of it. Ben,
It's extremely 90s,
it's
and I'm someone
90s
that
the
likes
comic
90s
book.
stuff, but it's like
Yeah.
it's the combination of everything good and bad. Like everything's in there.
What's
But
Brandon's
yeah.
thoughts?
You know, very of its time. There's a few pairings in it that I actually enjoy. I really like the Superman and Peter Parker
I do
pairing.
want to get into
Even though
that.
in the beginning of the book, he's just like, "Oh, I'm Ben Riley, but you should just call me Peter Parker." Get
Yeah,
the
but
fuck. What is
yeah.
that? They didn't
And
have the character at the time, so they were just like, "Let's just do this
yeah,
this way."
Yeah, you had the
Because I
Clone
think
Saga
obviously,
thing
yeah, this was at the
happen.
time
Yeah.
where Peter Parker was assumed to be dead or whatever. But some of the pairings are cool. The story overall, I was just like, I don't know. They just kind of came up with something to
yeah.
make these universes cross
So
over. There was no real substance.
whenever my thoughts is, I thought it was all right. It has it's jumpy in quality. Whenever it's just the heroes interacting with each other, pretty good. But about 30% of
Yeah.
this book is a guy with a box in an alley being like, "This box is God."
I know.
Yeah.
And here's my friend. Here's this guy. We're gonna duct tape the box together before it kills the earth. I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "This box is putting people in different realities." Like, what is happening here? Remove
Yeah.
all this shit from the book. It's just a guy in an alley with a glowing box, and the glowing box is God. And the two embodiments of Marvel and DC are like two giant gods that are fighting, and in the most like corporate mutual cocksucking moment at the end of the book, they like shake hands, like, "Good job with your universe."
Good job.
I thought that was kind of funny. Um,
I
so
liked your part of it. I liked your part too.
my
But
That's
it was
good.
like you have like we'll get to that part later, but just the quick summary. How I perceived it was like you have like one guy that's obsessed with DC, you have one guy that's obsessed with Marvel, and then the guy that's obsessed with Marvel learns about Batman. He's like, "Oh, Batman's kind of goated." And then the guy that's obsessed with DC sees Captain America. Is like, "Oh, Captain America's kind of goated."
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Hey, not
Hey,
bad,
nice job.
not bad."
It's-
Yeah,
got some cool
that's
characters
that's
over
the
there.
ending. Out of context, that's the ending.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
it's
two big things we have to talk about. I've never read this book before, but growing up, I had this, not growing up, like in high school, I got this big Marvel encyclopedia for Christmas. And it went over like every major Marvel event from like its inception to like 2010. So it went over that comic book, and it listed all the wins of the fights, and it also mentioned they were fan voted. There's some real bullshit in here. Storm beats
yeah.
Wonder Woman, crazy. Fucking
Yeah.
Wolverine
That was
beats
nuts.
Lobo, also crazy. Spider-Man beats Superboy, crazy. There were some other ones, but whatever. Another big issue, blatant character assassination. Captain America, Batman, and Superman are like, "I'm gonna blow up your Earth to save mine."
yeah.
I'm
I
like,
know.
Superman would never, because for anyone who doesn't know, this story doesn't really need to be talked about. There's some bullshit that happens,
Yeah.
and these big beings combine the universes, and they're like, "You're all gonna fight, and whoever wins, whichever world wins the most fights, lives. The other one gets blown up." So they're all fighting each other, but it's like Superman is like, "I have to save my world and destroy yours," and he beats up the Hulk. And then Captain America and Batman are like, "I have to win this fight, or I'm gonna doom my planet." Captain America would not sacrifice another world. Superman would not sacrifice another world to protect their own. Never.
You know what's so interesting about this? This is shockingly close to KO.
I was.
and the fact that Superman again is dealing with the fact that he needs to like save his own world, but the difference is in this
This,
book
he's
he's
like,
actually
"Fuck
characterized
y'all."
well, and he's just like
in DCKO,
nah.
he's characterized well. In DCKO,
yeah, DCKO he's written
in this,
like Superman.
Yeah, in this they are all willing. Everyone is willing to let the other world explode. They don't even think like, "Wow, is there a way we can stop this?" They're like,
Batman
no.
does it like the very last minute. He's like, well, maybe there's another way.
Yeah,
And Captain
after he
America's like,
fights.
all right, if there is. Yeah, after fighting for hours.
And then
like...
also, his win on Captain America, how is that a win? They get washed away in sewer water. And Captain America's like, oh, you bumped me in the head with a batarang, you win. I was like, what do you mean? What a weird book in that regard.
Yeah. And real quick, the way that Wonder Woman gets defeated, she gets like shot by Storm.
Yeah, Storm just shoots her with
which
lightning.
is funny. Because like in Titans, Donna Troy dies from getting shocked, and everyone that watched that episode was furious because they're like the you come from Greek mythology. You got like Zeus and shit. Like you should be able to like
they're like high scale
tank
powers, high scale heroes.
You're right, high scale powers. You got a little shocky, and then you fucking die. But then like Wonder Woman gets defeated the same way.
Yeah, Storm is just like she shocks her
She's like,
once,
sorry.
and Wonder Woman's like, "Yeah, bitch, I didn't
It's
do
over.
shit." And Storm's like, "Don't worry," and she just does it again, and then knocks her out. So weird. But yeah, I was like, Wolverine's awesome. I love Wolverine, but Lobo's like a way higher tier power. I hate power scaling, but this is the power scaling. He's a fucking Superman villain. He's like as strong as Superman. He can't die. How would Wolverine?
Yeah, but Wolverine can't die.
Yeah, but Wolverine can't.
Stabbed him in the right spot, and then he got up and smoked a cigar.
Yeah, it's just like I don't think Wolverine has the damage.
Well,
output
here's the
to
thing
put down Lobo.
that Ben let us know before we got
Yeah,
into
they were
this.
fan
These
voted.
were fan voted
Yeah.
battles, which is just like at that point the
Of course
power scaling
Lobo's gonna
doesn't
lose.
matter.
Yeah, but that's why it's
Yeah,
stupid.
they're just like
That's why it's stupid. There's
yeah, no, I agree. I think that the fan voting thing is absolutely
fortunately at some
dumb
point.
especially for a crossover like this of
Yeah.
this scale of this magnitude. Why
Yeah.
would you do that?
Fortunately, it does
I think
work
they did
out.
that just as a scapegoat.
I think most of the time, like Thor would beat Captain Marvel. I think.
Yeah.
And then Namor versus Aquaman aren't really. They're kind of the same. So whoever wins is fine. I like Aquaman more. That's who won. Flash would beat Quicksilver. He's not as fast as Flash. Jubilee versus Robin. I love that some of the fights aren't even fights. Some of them like the Captain America one. He's like, I get hit in the head with the batarang, you win. And then Tim Drake just like ties up Jubilee, and she's like, I let you do that. He's like, yeah, thanks, I win. And they just go back home.
Yeah, but they kiss before.
Yes.
They kiss before and after.
I also
Yeah, they're
like
like,
the little pairings that pop up very briefly that aren't the main fights. Like I like when Bullseye gets into the Batcave by accident and he captures Tim Drake and he fights Batman for a second. I like there's one panel of Punisher fighting Deathstroke.
Yeah. Cool.
Juggernaut or the Hulk fights Metallo, which was cool.
He found out Slade's secret.
Yeah, he's like, I need to kill your ass. I
Yeah.
thought those were cool. Insane one at the end. I don't know if you guys noticed. Elektra and Catwoman were fighting the Abomination.
I know.
I was like,
insane.
Yeah.
he like killed both of you. Wolverine versus Killer Croc was cool. There were some
I like
cool
that.
ones. I'm like,
Cool pairing.
cool.
Yeah, Gambit with Nightwing.
Gambit with Nightwing was sick. Wolverine and Gambit just steal the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
They
that.
just-
They're just like, fuck you. And it's they're just driving
Nightwing's
away.
like, I think they're miles away from here, and then like drive past, and Batman, he's like, you sure
I thought
about
that was
that? It's like, fuck.
Yeah, that was an.
You know what's interesting about this talking about this crossover now is that for the first time like since we just got
got
a
it.
Marvel
Yeah,
and DC
we did
crossover
just
to
get it.
directly compare it to.
And
And that also makes this
This
very
one's
clearly
way
90s
better.
because we were talking about it in the group chat, but these old comics have such a
Oh my
tendency
God.
to not know how to dump exposition.
I turned my brain
Just
off.
walls of text.
I turned my brain off, and I'm sorry I skipped over that. Whenever I got to I'm like, give me fucking someone I know. Like, I don't need a picture of eyes in the sky with fucking like 12 paragraphs telling me. So that's why I was I'm not gonna lie, I picked up on it, but I was confused. I was like, why are they in the same world? Like, why is J. Jonah Jameson running the Daily Planet? But my understanding by reading the rest of the book, they made like a world that was a combination before the amalgam universe. But
Amalgam?
no, because the
Yeah.
amalgam universe was at the end. But I think before that, there was just a universe where they kind of coexisted. Because J. Jonah
Yeah,
Jameson.
they
Well,
sort
that
of
also
just-
happens in the new crossover as well, though.
Yeah,
There's one
there's-
one or two short stories,
Yeah.
or maybe more of them that they're just like they just exist in that world together, and I actually kind of like that. But I like it when when there's no exposition dumps about it. It's just this is the world they exist in. You just have to accept it.
It was
and
just,
then you're
it was just weird that there was the Marvel universe, the DC universe, this combination universe, and then at the end there was an amalgam universe that just took everything and smushed it together instead of having it coexist. Very weird.
Yeah, there's too much going on.
Also, big amalgam fucking cock tease. Issue 3 is like, next issue, amalgam universe, and it's just like one page. Kind of annoying. Fucking out of all those combos of characters, only one of them works, and it's the fucking Dark Claw detective is fucking sick. That character.
You know what's funny about that though is that right now, Spider-Boy has an ongoing comic.
I saw that. Weird.
Yeah, like right, he's the only one I think right now, and that like the amalgam universe is continuing on.
Cooler. Dark Claw is awesome.
I agree. Dark Claw is awesome.
I will say,
but
the Joker Sabretooth hybrid, not it.
Yeah, Hyena.
Hyena was not it.
No.
The green fur.
Yeah, I know what they were trying to go for.
I thought he was
the
just
laughing
the
hyena.
Yeah, I thought he was just the creeper. See, that's the yellow and the green.
Oh,
I thought it was the creeper for a minute. Superman Captain America combo doesn't really work. It's not terrible, but I think
the suit looks awful.
Yeah, it's just not
I don't
great.
like it.
He was like a more Jack Captain
and then
America with his hair.
And then his shield is the fucking the Superman.
Yeah,
has.
that was a little funny.
It's not great. They all have their own spin-off comics though. Oh, best cameo in this book when the Looney Tunes characters are at the bar. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go.
That was
I
awesome.
loved that.
I was like, where's your X-Men merch? What are the X-Men? And then Wolverine crashes through the window of Killer Croc.
I loved it. Funny. I loved seeing them there. But yeah, I mean, just not much to say apart from it does give you some cool, like, the book works when the characters are all on screen or all on page. Sometimes it doesn't work when the characterization is really off and when there's some bullshit outcomes to fights. But I think generally when it's just them throwing down, it works pretty well.
I agree. I mean, but that's what you're coming to this comic for.
Yeah.
That stuff. And I wish that more of it was that, but when it is that, I think it's pretty good. It's very 90s, like we said, but I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I'm curious to read. Is this the only time this has happened, or is there another?
No, there's that
before,
other one.
Or after?
There was one before, I believe. It's
because maybe that's the omnibus I saw.
Okay.
Because it's a much bigger story, and I don't think they do the amalgam stuff. I think it's just a straight up crossover, like
because that's the
battle
one where
between
Punisher
the two
meets
universes.
Batman and shit.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
want to
mixed.
read that one.
Yeah.
And see how it compares. I feel like it's probably much better because again, this is 4 issues long. Very contained event.
Yeah.
This other event is a whole omnibus of stories.
It
So I
might
can only
just
imagine
have
how much
everything I
that
don't
goes
know.
into. Yeah, I have no idea.
Other weird thing about this book, the heroes have no agency in the actual story. Right? It's like the story is why are they all here? But none of the heroes try to figure out why they're there. None of them try to figure out who put them there. None of them try to figure out how to stop it. The only people who know what's going on and have any involvement in the larger events are 2 guys in an alley who I don't even know, and then those giant god things. So when everything comes to a head at the end of the book, it's like 2 giant gods fighting in the sky, and all the heroes like look up at them, and then they're like, actually, you know what, we're cool. All right, everyone go back home. Not a satisfying way to end it.
No.
So I thought that was
I thought
that was a bad decision.
Yeah.
If you want,
that is the thing. I don't think this is a satisfying story at all. That is.
it gives fun.
like-
It's a little bit of fun fluff, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a little bit
which
of-
I'm grateful it's only 4 issues.
Yeah.
I think the issues are a little bit mega sized.
They are long.
How many
They are-
pages?
I
They're like
don't know, but they do feel
45,
long.
46 pages.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. It's just mid. I think it's mid.
Yeah.
Mid.
If you want some fun fluff, I think this is it. It's cool. You know, it definitely it didn't enrage me. I just came away. I was like,
that doesn't make me mad.
I was like, that's cool. I guess. I guess that was pretty cool. Don't know what else to say
Pretty
about it.
cool. I think we say quite a bit.
Yeah.
Said a
so.
fair amount.
Yeah.
All right, I think that might be the end of this episode. Well, what an episode it's been,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Yep.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed
Yeah.
listening to this. If anyone's here, remember to like and subscribe. It would be very nice. If you couldn't tell, if you watched any of the other episodes, we're kind of changing stuff up, so bear with us.
Yep.
We'll figure it out.
Next
We
episode-
probably won't have any more segments where we talk about child predators, but who
No, we
knows? Anyway, okay,
We're also doing
that's
live
cool.
executions next episode.
All right, that's wonderful.
We're
Anyway,
shaking things up.
thanks for watching. Say bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Hello, everybody, and this is after the pod. I realized that we forgot to do the wheel, and Brandon already went to sleep, and Evander is making dinner, and I don't want to wait anymore, so I'm just going to spin the wheel on my own. And this is proof. So if it happens to land on a controversial pick, and my dog is barking in the background, so that's fun. Yeah. We're just gonna spin the wheel because it's late and I got work in the morning. Let's see what it is. Is it a spin again? Star Wars by Charles Soule or Soule. Yeah, something like that. All right, well that's the pick for next week. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you haven't already.